we'll do Microsoft Excel as I promised. So that's basically what we shall do today. Okay. I'm not going to talk about tools and features in Microsoft Excel because this is data analysis. The assumption is that if you're going to learn data analysis in Excel, then you should already have some basics in Excel. Like you should already know how to enter data, okay, how to modify your worksheets and your workbooks, basically that. So I'm just going to focus on data analysis. That's basically what I meant when I say this class. We'll be able to finish it within an hour. So what we'll look at is data visualization. Then we'll also look at how to do a descriptive analysis in Microsoft Excel. And also we'll look at, basically the last thing we'll look at is correlations, how to find relationships between variables in Microsoft Excel. Okay. So we are going to get started. There's actually a data set here. I hope you're able to see it. This is a budget, someone's budget. Yeah, this is someone's budget. If you're following through, you can enter this data on your spreadsheet. This is someone's budget. They have expenses there, and they also have the amount of money that they spend on that particular thing. For instance, we have under rent, we have 7,000. Under groceries, we have 3,000. Transport, 800. Current, I don't know what current is, but I've just added it. Maybe could say that's the money that they have in their hands. I think that's what I meant. The money that they have in their hands, and then they also have to pay school fees, and they also need to save. Basically, probably that's what they have in their savings, 1,900. I wish they had the 7,000 in their savings and the 1,900 for rent. But anyway, that is our data set. So we are going to use this data for data visualization. Then we are going to look at another data set that we are going to use for descriptive analysis. Okay, so what is data visualization basically? In Microsoft, basically the concept of data visualization applies in whatever analysis tool that you decide to use. Data visualization is basically you visualizing your data using tools, such as if you are using Microsoft Excel, you can use charts. Not just Microsoft Excel though. Whatever tool you are using for data analysis, you can use charts. You can use different types of charts. We have pie charts, bar charts, column charts, all those types of visualization, histograms, all that. Like there's some of the visualizations that we did when we were looking at SPSS. So that also is data visualization. Okay, so even in Excel, you can visualize your data, so you have a certain data set and maybe you want to look at your data using maybe a pie chart. Basically, that's what data visualization is. Okay, so we are going to visualize this data that we have here. We're going to try to put it on a pie chart, and we're also going to put it on a bar or column chart so that you see how to do it. So if you want to visualize your data, you have to make sure you select the data that you want to visualize. Okay, as I have selected this data, as you can see here, I have selected everything that I have, including the headings, the labels. So we have expenses here and we have amounts here, and I've selected everything. What do I do next? I go under insert. Okay, when I click under insert, you notice that there are a lot of features which are under insert that you can use. But as we are looking for charts, and charts are here, Okay, there are different kind of charts here. We have bar charts, column charts, a bar chart here and a column chart here. We also have this line chart, and we also have area chart. We also have a combo chart. We also have pivot charts. Then we also have what? Pie chart. Here you will find different kinds. When you click the drop down arrow, you find different kinds. And we also have a scatter what? Bubble chart. Okay. So these are some of the charts that we have. So we are going to first make a pie chart. So I'm going to click on a pie chart. I'm going to click on the drop down arrow. When I click on the drop down arrow, you notice they bring different kind of charts. Do I want a 2D? Do I want a 3D? Or do I want a donut chart? You notice when I take my cursor, you can preview these charts. You're able to preview these charts. This one looks thick, and we also have a donut chart over here. Let's try to use, let's first use this 3D. Yeah. You notice what happens? When you just select your data and then you choose a chart, you're going to see the data on your chart. Are you able to see that?
Yes, madam.
Yeah. So as long as you selected your data and then you choose which chart do you want to use to illustrate this data, you select the chart and you'll be able to see. As you can see here, we have amount, and then we have the amount, the category for expenses demarcated here. We have rent, we have grocery here with different depicted by different colors, right? Okay. If you want to make it a little bit bigger, you can do that basically. Okay, like that. Okay, then if you want to make a few changes, maybe you don't like how it looks, you can click on this plus sign. Then you can decide, do you want to see the chart title? No. If you don't want it, you are going to untick that box and you will no longer see the chart title. If you want to see it, you will tick it and you'll be able to see what? The chart title. Okay. There's also data labels here. You notice when I click inside data labels, you will see the actual values on the what? On your chart. So you decide how do you want to look at your chart. Based on how you want to look at your chart, you're going to decide which one am I going to choose. Okay, if you don't want to see the data labels, you can untick. Okay, and then if you also don't want to see the colors which you want to. Yeah, so if you don't want to see the colors which represent every expense, you can untick that, or when you tick it again, you'll be able to see it. Okay, this time around it's this side. Okay, so basically that's how you can make a few changes. And also on top here, once your chart is once you're able to see, once you select the chart you're working with, you notice that you're going to have chart tools on top there on the tabs. On top of the design and the format tab, you're going to see chart tools here. Okay, so you can change, you can check out the different chart styles which are available and choose how exactly you want to look at your chart. Okay, for instance, if you want it to look faint, you notice when you go on this one, you will see. Then we also have another style here. This one looks interesting. Do you not agree? It's so colorful and it's properly labeled like that, and then the amounts are actually put in percentages. So if you
this one is much better.
Yeah, so if you want to use this data for your analysis, you're going to say that 47% of this person's income goes to what? This is what? Rent, right? Yeah, the blue one is rent. So 47% of their income goes to rent. 13% goes to what? Transport. Another 13% goes to what? School fees. And then we have we also have 20% there. The 20% goes to groceries, and then we also have a 2%. 2% is what they actually have currently. And then the 5% is what? I don't know, I can see the colors clear, but I hope you're able to see, and I hope you get what I mean. Okay? So basically that, you can choose if you want this one or you want this one, which has the actual labels. There's savings, there's school fees, there's current, there's transport, groceries, and rent. Okay? And there's also this one. Okay? Do you want to change colors? You can click on colors and try out different colors. You notice what's happening? When you go on a certain color, it's going to give you the combination on its own. Okay? If we go on yellow, we get something colorful. If we go on blue, we get something a little bit different, something not so colorful. Let's try to, okay, this one. Oh, this one has so much color. Yeah. So you have all these options, huh?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm just gonna leave it here. Are there any questions so far? No. Okay, great. So we are,
I'm following.
yeah. We are going to make another chart using we are going to use a bar chart this time around so that you see how this data plays out. In case you prefer a bar chart to a pie chart compared to a pie chart. Huh? So we are going to go back to insert, and we are going, this time around we are going to choose let's choose a column chart. Under column chart, you can decide which one do you want. Do you want 3D? Do you want 2D? You know, let's try to choose, yeah, let's choose 3D. Okay, this is our chart now. We have the labels down here where we have rent, grocery, transport, current, school fees, and savings. From this chart, you can see where the largest amount of money goes, and here we've been given the range. Our money ranges from here up to here. It couldn't go down, so you notice that current is actually lower than the 1,000 because it's somewhere like 300. Yeah, so it's way down here. Okay, so like the same way we did some editing for the pie chart, you can also do some editing, try out and see how they play out. Yeah, this one looks interesting. It looks formal. Maybe I don't know, I like this one.
Yes.
Yeah, so you can try out, and you can also change colors. If maybe the colors which are there are not your favorite colors, you can try out other colors. There are people who are very particular with colors, so they would rather have certain colors. I don't know why the colors are not responding, but they're supposed to respond. Yeah, okay, they've started. Like that. So if you want to add your favorite color, you can remove the color that's there and add your own. If you want a color that's faint, you can do that. Okay, so this is how you add chart. You visualize your data. Whatever data you're working with, you're just going to select the part that you want to visualize, and then you go to insert, and then you add whether you want to add a bar chart or a pie chart or a column chart, whatever kind of chart you want to add. As long as you select the data, you will be able to add the chart. Can we move now?
Just join the bit on the part of choosing the color
Oh, okay.
on the pie chart.
Okay, so it's the same basically. On the pie chart or on the bar chart?
Yes, on the pie chart.
Oh, okay. So you've seen where it's saying change colors?
Yeah, I've seen it now.
So under change colors, you just click the drop down arrow and you move your cursor. When you move your cursor on a certain color, you should be able to see it on your what? On your bar chart. I don't know, it's taking time. Okay, now yeah, it has started. You notice?
Yes. Yes, madam.
Yeah. So basically, that's how you do it.
All right. I've got it now.
Alright, so we are going to move on now. We are going to go to descriptives. Okay, I'm just going to move. I'm going to go to another sheet. The one we were on, it was sheet 2, and it had this data that we are working with. I'm going to go to sheet 3. Sheet 3 has data also that we can use to find some descriptive. You know, the same way that we did descriptive analysis in SPSS, where you want to find how spread your data is. Are there relationships between variables? You know, you find you do measure of dispensation. Okay, you find out how spread your data is. You find out the maximum number of your data. You find out the minimum number of your data. You also find out if there are any extremes in your data. You know, if you want to find those standard deviation, variance in Microsoft Excel, you can also use Microsoft Excel to find those descriptives about your data. So basically that's what we are going to do next. Okay, and we are going to use this data set here. Okay,
Yes, madam.
so what I'm gonna do is I'm going to select this data in advance. But anyway, for descriptive, you don't really have to select your data because you can always add your range. So let me just try to select it in advance. Let me go to data. On the tab called data, it's just after formulas. When I click on data, I'm going to go to data analysis. Okay. I hope the version that I'm working on has data analysis. Are you following through?
Yes, madam.
Have you managed to find the?
Going through.
Are you? Do you have? Are you? Is your Microsoft Excel open?
She's open. She's open. So I'm just entering the data here.
Oh, okay. All right. Apparently, I didn't check this. My version of Microsoft Excel, I changed it, but I'm supposed to go back to the latest version. I've been using 300 and Microsoft 365, the latest version, but I changed it recently. I was having problems with my PC, so I haven't yet gone back. So I think I didn't check to make sure that this version of my Excel has the tools that I need. Apparently right now I can't see data analysis. It's supposed to be there.
What of if you go to, if you try to go to set
We go to inserts.
inside, let's say,
No, if you want to analyze data, under data, that's where you find all the analysis tools. Under insert, you can only insert some charts. You understand that? What version of Excel are you using? Maybe I can just explain and you'll be able to follow through. Hello?
let me check. Madam, I'm sure we are using the same version.
Even you're using 2013. I have a setup, but it might take time to. I don't know how I missed this. Apparently, what was in my head is I'm using the latest version. I actually forgot that I changed an operating system. Yeah. So I think that's where the challenge is. Anyway, let's move on. So basically, here we are supposed to have under the tools here. If you're using 2017, if you're using Microsoft Excel 2017 or 2021, which is 365, you're supposed to have data analysis under here where there's data where there's data validation, what if analysis, all that. Okay? There's supposed to be what? There's supposed to be data analysis under data here. Okay? So when you click on data analysis, that's where you go to what to description. And when you click on description, then you are going to get all the descriptives that you need for this data. Okay? For instance, you are going to get the minimum value, and you're also going to get the maximum value, and it's also going to tell you when you just look at this data set, you'll be able to see that there's an outlier for this data set. Why? Because this 50, the difference between this whole data that's from this side, you're able to see the difference 3, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 27. You notice that the difference is so minimal, huh? But look at this. From 27, you go to 50. This is an anomaly in this data set. So if we manage to run that analysis, would have been given this 50 to be an outlier, because it is outside the range of this data. Okay, we were also going to get the data that is exactly in between this data, which is the median. Okay, when you count, this data runs from 2 to 9. And how many we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so we're going to get the what? The value of the data, which is what? In between. We're also going to get that. Okay, we're also going to get the mean, the standard deviation. Okay, basically that is what descriptives does. You go under data. When you go under data, if you are using the latest version, you should be able to find it on these what tools which are here. Okay, so for now we are going to look at data validation. After data validation, then we'll look at correlation. Okay, so data validation, what do we use data validation for? We use data validation to make sure that the data does not have errors, to ensure that as you be entering data, you avoid certain errors. Okay, there are certain errors which can be avoided, of course. For instance, if maybe where you wanted to enter a 0, you enter maybe 8 by mistake. Errors that are due to maybe the keyboard. You wanted to press 8, you press 0. You wanted to press 7, you press 1. Such kind of errors. You put up a data validation measure that is going to make sure that certain errors do not occur as you enter your data. This helps you to have confidence in your data. It also helps you to avoid errors. And if your data has no errors, your results are going to be reliable and they're going to be correct and accurate. Okay, so that's the importance of data validation. And lucky enough, we have the tool here for data validation. Okay, so if you want to do a data validation for a certain range of cells, you can just select the range. For instance, if all the data that we want to enter in this cell, we want it to have a certain criteria that is going to make sure that errors are avoided. We can select the whole column. You can select the whole column, or you can just select a cell. Sometimes you'd want to validate a cell, so you're just going to select that cell. But if you're entering a vast amount of data, maybe you would want to do what? To select a range, maybe a whole column. Maybe you want to enter the years of people here. Yeah, so you just want to make sure that the years are accurate, the ages of people there are accurate. So what do? You select. When you select, you go under what? Data validation. When you click under data validation, you click on what? Validation. Data validation. Okay, I'm not sure you're able to see this dialog box because I can't see it on my screen, the one that I'm using to record. I'm able to see the dialog box which has popped up after I've clicked on validation.
On your screen, I cannot see it, but I can see it on mine.
On yours, huh? Okay, which is great.
Yes.
Yeah, which is great. At least to be able to relate what I'm talking about. Okay, so we have this dialog box which has popped up. The first part we have is settings. Under settings, we have what? Validation criteria. So we need to come up with a criteria. How do we want to validate? Do we want to enter only whole numbers in that column? Or do we want to enter only decimal numbers? Or we want to enter a list? Or date? Or time? Or text length? Or a custom value? So you enter a criteria of what values are going to be allowed in that cell or in that range of what cells. Okay, for instance, let's say we only want to enter whole numbers in that cell or in that range of cells. Since I've created the range, so I'm just going to click on what? Whole numbers. When I click on whole numbers, it's going to be selected under allow, so which means that only whole numbers will be allowed here. So I need to come up with a range also. Is it whole numbers between a certain range, or is it all numbers which are not between a certain range, or is it all numbers which are equal to a certain number or not equal to a certain number, or whole numbers which are greater than a certain number? If you want to make sure that you enter numbers in between 10 and 20, you are going to put between. Okay, if you want to enter numbers which are equal to a certain number, you're going to put equal to. Okay, let's say I want to put numbers which are greater than a certain number. Okay, so I'm going to select greater than under data. Okay, and then under minimum, we are going to put the minimum number. Since we are saying greater than, we are going to put the starting point. Greater than what, in short? You understand? That's basically what we are doing. We want to find the numbers which are greater than a certain number. So let's say we want to enter only numbers, whole numbers which are greater than 5. Okay, greater than, and then under minimum we put 5. Okay, so we put 5 under minimum. We are going to move on. We are going to go to input message. Okay, input message, it helps us, it adds an input message. Okay, so much that when you're not the one, or maybe sometimes you can actually set up a validation criteria and forget. Yeah, so this input message is going to help you remember. You can forget and just try to enter any number in a certain cell, and it keeps failing, and you start asking yourself, what's wrong? What have I done? You've forgotten that you added a validation criteria to that particular number. Okay, so this input message helps us. You're going to put a title for that input message. Okay, when you click at that cell, you'll be able to see this input message. Okay, so we can come up with a title. What title should we have? We can say maybe it's a note. We can say maybe it's a note that. So we're just going to say note like that, and as a title. Maybe we can also put some yeah like that, and then we are going to have an input message. Maybe we can say enter whole numbers like that. Enter whole numbers like that as an input message. And then under error, the last one we have is error alert. Under error, this basically it's asking, when you enter an invalid data, what should Excel show you? What should Excel say? Basically, that's what this is about. Okay, so you have to choose a style. Is it a stop? Is it a warning? Or is it just an information? So let's say it's a warning. You notice that if you choose stop, there's going to be that red sign that is saying stop. If it's a warning, it also changes. If it's information, it also gives you the icon for information. So we've said to select warning. So we just click on warning, and then under we are going to put a message again. So it's going to say warning, and then it's going to tell you something. So what is that something that you want it to tell you? What do you think it should tell someone if they enter an invalid data in that particular cell? What do you think should be the title based on the input message? The concept is the same.
Warning.
I should write warning under title. So I'm going to say warning like that. and then error message. You have entered an invalid data. Is that okay?
Yes, madam. That's fine. Of entered the
You have
invalid
entered
data.
you have entered invalid data, right? Like that. So this is what we want it to tell us. So let's click OK and see how all this plays out. So we click OK. When you click OK, you notice here the note is here, which is an input message, and it's telling us to enter a whole number. Okay, so when you try to enter a whole number, let's say we enter in 5. No, we didn't say. Let me just let's try to enter maybe 6. Yeah, you notice that it agrees. When we try to enter another one, maybe not 6, maybe 7, it also agrees. Let's try to enter a number that's less than 5. Let's try to enter 3. You notice the error message comes up. It's saying, warning, you have entered invalid data. Okay? So basically this is how you validate your data. Okay? You can cancel or decide if you want to continue or what. And then maybe if you cancel, then you have to enter the correct data, and you go on just like that. So basically that is how you validate your data. You notice that you will only see this message when you click inside this cell. When you're not there, you will not be able to see it. You're able to see that?
Yes, madam.
Yeah. So basically that is how you do it. Any questions?
No, madam, can continue. No question. But on the part of data analysis, when you say that it is not showing, if you go and manage data model, it is telling me that data analysis had ins, something like that.
What?
Like when try to go and manage data model under data.
Data tools.
Yes.
Manage data models.
Yes.
Do I have it? There's consolidate. There's validate. There's remove duplicate. There's flash fill. There's text to column. That's basically what I have under data tools. That's what I meant when I said my version does not have data analysis. Does yours have?
It is just having an icon which is saying that data that manage data model.
Oh, that's a different tool.
Oh, it's a different tool.
Yeah, that's a different tool. There's supposed to be, you notice where there's outline here? Outline is not supposed to be the last tool here. If you're using the latest version, there's supposed to be data analysis here. That's what I mean. Where there's like outline here, under this, in fact, under this same data tools, there's supposed to be data analysis. The same way we have relationships here, you know, the same way we have what if analysis here, you know, like that, where there's consolidate, data validation. There's supposed to be another tool which is saying data analysis. And that is the tool that we are supposed to use for descriptive data. And also, that is the tool we are supposed to use for what? For correlations. Okay? So I'm going to give you a challenge. I want you to update your versions of Microsoft Excel to the latest version if possible. If not, even 2017 has it. Because I remember last time when I was teaching, I had 2017, but I managed to teach. So even 2017 has it. So you can update to 2017 or even 2021. But if you can get 365, which is 2021, even better. That's actually latest, like 2023, because it's updated every now and then. You know. So when you get that one, I'm going to share with you guidelines of how you are going to move until you do the correlation. I know you are asking about notes in the group. I've been avoiding to give you notes because you haven't been consistent. But now that we have finished with the course, I'm going to compile everything. I need to send you notes for the topic we did yesterday and the previous one and also this one, right? So I'm going to compile the notes and I'm going to share them with you, okay? And just make sure you update your version of Excel. I was reluctant with Excel data analysis because I wasn't supposed to do it. But anyway, at least you have an idea now. So under data, under the tabs, here where we have the formulas, data, review, view, these tabs here. Under these tabs, if you want to do some analysis, you want to validate your data, you just want to clean your data, you use here. This is where you clean your data from. You can sort and filter, basically this is this is the tab that you deal with so much if you are doing analysis. These other ones, you maybe with insert, of course, because you need to insert some charts and also but most of these other ones, if you are doing an analysis, you are rarely going to use formulas and functions, but basically that's it about Microsoft Excel. If you want to learn more about it, you can enroll for Advanced Excel. You can enroll for Advanced Excel. I just wanted us to have an idea because, like you mentioned, it was there on the advert that you're supposed to do it. The advert had an error. So no wonder I wanted us to run through it so that we can at least have an idea. But we can't go into depth because the time cannot allow us. Excel is so broad and complex on its own, the same way that SPSS has. Even in SPSS, we're unable to exhaust everything. We just focus on everything that you need in order for you to get started. And then as you interact, when you learn how to get started with an application, you're going to be interested in exploring, checking out other tools, and that's how you learn. But if you don't know, you don't have where to start from, it's hard to learn. Okay? So basically that's it.
Thank you very much for having us through the Excel.
Yeah. So basically this is where we end. We can still interact in the group because we have to do an assessment. So try to install an updated a recent version of Microsoft package. Then I'm going to share the notes like I said. and then we are going to have our assessment. I don't know, I've forgotten which day we are supposed to have it, but we are going to have it. I don't know if it's Thursday or it's Friday. It's what?
According to what you said, you're saying Friday.
Friday?
It's actually the timetable is showing that
It's showing what? Friday?
yes.
Okay, great. So it will be on Friday. Alright, good night for now.
2:22. Yeah, if I'm not mistaken about the time.
Oh, the time, yeah. No, don't worry about the time. We can agree on what time we can have it, as long as you don't have other courses that might be in conflict with the timing. But it will, of course, it will be in the evening, just to make sure all of us are comfortable with the time. Yeah. Okay, good night.